gonna let you push me off my stride. Look, now this one is a personal favorite of mine. Alan Wake 2, baby. Shout outs to IGN. They're the ones who uploaded the video. This is Sam Lake explaining the Alan Wake story so far. Okay. I'm gonna shut up and let the video do the talking. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's go!
Alan Wake. Oh God, I am your biggest fan.
Yup.
The story of Alan Wake, his American Nightmare DLC, and Ventures into Control is one full of twists and turns through dreams and reality.
It really
to help
is.
us untangle the tale is Remedy creative director Sam Lake.
Oh, you're the creator? Okay, Sam.
Past for us as concisely as possible, or at least that was the aim.
Okay, let's see where we get.
Oh, wait, I'm in the way. Let me slide over here. There we go.
Ahead of Alan Wake
That's
2,
better.
here is
That's
the
it.
Alan Wake story so far.
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
Alan Wake is a New York-based successful writer. He has made his career hugely successful writing these hard-boiled crime books set in New York. But he is not satisfied. He's struggling with his life. He's struggling with his marriage with his wife, Alice, who is a photographer. He just feels that this commercial literature, he's seen all of it. He wants to move and do something more about kind of like from him and more artistic.
Just real quick, is there any other way to write writers? Like, I feel like every time we get a writer in any media, any format, their story is always, damn, I'm struggling to write. I need more inspiration. Like, I always find that to be the case. I got writer's block. Let's go somewhere so I can figure out more stuff to write. Little does Alan Wake know, finds himself in a nightmare, bro.
So he kills
Finds
off his
himself in a
cash
nightmare.
cow, Alex Casey. And then he hits a block and he discovers that he tries to write, he can't. His life is spiraling out of control. He's drinking too much and arguing with his wife. And ultimately, Alice suggests that they should just go away and have a break and kind of have a vacation. It's kind of a last-ditch attempt to fix their marriage.
So is Alice's fault that we in this shit? Because, spoiler, but then again, if you're watching this video, you already know the story of Alan Wake. So, well, is it your fault, Alice? Because I can't remember who eggs is on to go to this place in the first place. I mean, Alan wanted to be there. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just saying, like, is it your fault, Alice? Because the reason where Alan is in number 2 is that your fault? I mean, it kind of is if you... Never mind.
So they go on a vacation to Pacific Northwest, this kind of an idyllic, beautiful, majestic landscape, quirky, idyllic, small town setting of Bright Falls.
We need to stop at the local diner to get the cabin key from the landlord, a Mr. Carl Stuckey. He's waiting for us.
Carl Stuckey.
And they arrive. There is some
That's a
confusion.
nasty name, bro.
They don't meet the landlord who is supposed to deliver the keys and directions. Instead, Alan meets this kind of a creepy old lady in a funeral costume, Barbara Chacker, who hands him the keys and directions.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin. I'll come by later to check how you've settled in.
Lady, you are nasty in the face and in the voice.
It's not what was advertised. It's this, but it's gorgeous. It's this small island on this caldera lake called Cauldron Lake. They settle in. That's when Alice reveals that she's been in talks with a local doctor called Dr. Hartman.
He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists.
So now you want to get me committed?
No,
Damn.
it's not like that. That's not...
She's just trying to help, Alan. She's just trying to help.
He's really mad about this. He doesn't want to do anything. He didn't come here to write. He storms out of the cabin, cools off, and then suddenly he hears Alice screaming for help. He rushes in, sees her disappear off the edge of the balcony, feels that she has fallen in, dives after her, everything goes black. He wakes up in a car crash on a forest road at night, confused, starts to find pages of a novel, the title page, like saying that he's the writer. He can't remember writing any of this, but the title of the book, Departure, is what he has been mulling in his mind.
That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started.
Hey,
These
chat, this game is
pages
fire. You have to
are
play it to
clearly a
really
horror
appreciate
story
it. That's the
talking
best thing I
about
can say.
This kind of a supernatural force of darkness waking up and starting to take over the locals. All of this starts to come true. He runs into the landlord that they missed. He's covered in shadows, angry, crazy, attacks him. He manages to defend himself with a flashlight, and so light.
So not only does Carl Stuckey have the nastiest name, also I see you, Pogo. Welcome to the stream, my man. How's it going today, man? Happy Monday, bro. Not only does Carl Stuckey have the nastiest name in the world, but like he's the first enemy you properly fight too. Carl Stuckey, you a problem. I hate you, bro.
He is an active mechanic against forces of darkness.
I mean, I don't hate him. Hate him is a strong word. I don't hate him. He's just the enemy. He's just the op.
Local sheriff, and she is saying that there is no island. There used to be an island on the lake. There is an active volcano under the caldera. There was an earthquake in 1970, and the island sunk in. There is no island.
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head.
Damn.
So he's confused. He's struggling, trying to piece it together. His agent Barry Wheeler comes.
My boy Barry Wheeler! Yo, wait, hold on. I gotta go back. This is a Barry Wheeler appreciation stream. Look at my boy. Underneath the armpit. Getting his shine. Barry Wheeler, bro. Barry Wheeler. Oh, my boy Barry
I don't
Wheeler.
like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of
I don't like it
He's
either,
finding
Barry.
more pages, and this horror becomes like more and more real around them. There seems to be this some sort of force of darkness, the dark presence.
Oh god, hey
trying to
Pogo,
get
you said
him.
you had a bit of a
He ends
long
up
day,
at
but
the
you're
clinic,
here now?
and Dr.
Fantastic,
Hoffman is
dude.
claiming that Alice
I'm here to
drowned,
make your
and
day
he
better. I
is
promise,
kind
by the
hoping
end of
that
the
Arkham
stream,
coming up
you
with
will
this
leave with a
fantasy
smile on
deal
your
with it,
face.
and he should stay at the clinic under his care. But there are other patients there as well. There are these old crazy rockers, Tour and Odin Anderson, who used to have a heavy metal band. They are saying this is happening for real. This is a special place. Art can kind of like change reality here.
It takes crazy to know crazy.
Crazy to know
And they
crazy.
give him directions to act upon. He decides to trust them, the crazy guys, instead of this doctor. Escapes, experiences some visions
Damn.
that show him
Alan got the blicky in his
missing
face.
niece, diving into the lake and waking up in the crashed car where he's been trapped in the cabin, because we find that there is this kind of an opening into a nightmare dimension under Cauldron Lake. He calls it the dark place. It's kind of this nightmare dream reality, and he was trapped there for a week. Barbara Jagger, this old lady who is also the dark presence, made
She
him,
is nasty in the
holding Alex
face and the
hostage,
voice.
made him write the story that would have
Look at her.
this
Get your
fiction come
creepy
true
hand off
and
me, man.
release the dark presence and empower the dark presence.
I wrote it. It's my fault.
But he started to understand this because this has happened before, and he was finding evidence that in late 60s, there was this other artist, this poet living at Cauldron Lake, Thomas Zane. His fiancée, Barbara Jagger, they were there, and she drowned. Then he started figuring out that this place has power and fiction can change reality, and he wrote her back to life. But because these forces of darkness in the dark place are affecting reality, actually she came back wrong. It was actually the dark presence in her shape.
It's crazy, chat. It's crazy. Also, Pogo, this game is fantastic, dude. This game is fantastic. When I was playing it, just real quick, when I was playing the game, I was like, man, this game is hard to understand. Like, I really hope it all pays off because it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand. I can't wrap my brain around it. Like, because you undercovering the story as you're playing, as most games do, but then you don't really understand it really until you finish the game, and then you have all of the pieces to be able to put together to like realize. Yeah, cool. So I'm playing through the game, and I'm like, yo, the ending's kind of whack. right? I'm furious. I'm fuming. I don't get it. I'm like, this ending. Like, I think he says something like, "It's not a lake, it's an ocean." And I'm like, bro, what is this? Then I watched an explanation video to kind of sum up everything that I knew. Instantly became a top tier fan. I said to myself, I want to pre-order number 2. When's number 2 coming out? Boom, number 2's on the way, bro. I said, oh my God, I couldn't have timed it any better. I'm ready.
And he realized his mistake. He tried to correct it. He killed her, carved out her heart, and he was an enthusiastic diver. So he tried to kind of rewrite reality to take all of his mistakes out and dove into the lake with her. And
I've not played the DLCs. I've not played the DLCs. And I've not completed Control before. But everyone tells me that's a good game.
Alan Wake's background. As a child, he was afraid to go to sleep. He was seeing a lot of nightmares. Mother had given us kind of a chunk toy and said that this is from your father. It will make the scary things go away. When Alice was afraid of the dark, he gave it to her. And now he finds it as if it had been left behind by Thomas Zane as a gift for him. With fiction coming true, we have this confusion and these open questions like, how did Thomas Zane know about this? Did his writing back in the day affect what Alan Wake is experiencing, change reality around him? Or is it now Alan Wake's writing conjuring up Thomas Zane as a helper for him?
My boy Barry Wheeler!
It's a powerful
oh, my head was in the way. You couldn't see it properly.
There's a light switch.
I can get to it.
There he is. My boy Barry Wheeler, bro. My boy Barry Wheeler.
Lake, goes into the dark place, finds the cabin there, faces Barbara Checker, the dark presence there. She has a hole in her chest because Thomas Zane cut out her heart.
Yep.
Shoves the light switch in, flicks the switch.
Yep.
Light blooms.
Yep.
And
Flick that shit, Alan. Flick that shit,
Alan. He writes in that cabin,
Flick that
the dark place, an ending to the story. Because there was no ending.
Absolutely bodied her. What's her name? Barbara? Get the fuck out of here, Barbara. Got clicked to death. Look at you. All that darkness, all that negative energy, all that entity type shit, and you got clicked to death. Get the fuck out of here.
It needs to follow certain laws of drama. At least to him,
Let's
it's
go,
important that this fiction comes true.
Alan.
And he writes Alice out from the prison that the dark presence trapped her in the dark place. He has to pay a price, so he is stuck in there. That's where we leave him.
It's not a lake.
It's an ocean. The first time I heard that, I was heated.
We had downloadable
because they just caught the game.
They show his
like,
crazy struggle in the dark place. It goes pretty kind of wild and nightmarish. And we have this idea that because it's really kind of taxing and it's hard not to go crazy, he kind of goes crazy. And we split him apart. So the crazy part is stuck in the cabin, but we are actually playing an aspect of him trying to get to that cabin to kind of fix things. In the end, he does, and he sits down to write a new story to escape.
My name is Alan Wake, and I'm a writer.
Alan, bro, if you don't get your dramatic reading having us out the goddamn video, bro.
Then Alan Wake's American Nightmare came out. Early on in his career, he
Barry
was writing for this anthology show called Night Springs, which is kind of an anthology show of horror and sci-fi and speculative fiction.
Night Springs.
He wrote some episodes, and now desperate in the dark place, he's kind of like trying many different things because he keeps failing. He tries to write fiction that would allow him to escape, change the dark place around him to open up and release him. But it's very tricky. Spoiling the context of how we see American Nightmare is, it's one failed attempt in the context of an episode of Night Springs. We bring in Alan Wake's dark double called Mr. Scratch that we already introduced in the main game.
Mr. Scratch, I see.
Trying to get to Alice.
Show yourself!
He's like, I'm behind you, bitch!
And we
Hit
are
him with some
also
dark
kind of
shit.
building this idea that while he
Yep.
is in the dark place riding, he is seeing some glimpses and visions from our world, from the real world, and using them in his writing, trying to make it more real so that the parts that he adds and changes and nudges would come true more readily. So we have Alice with her photography and her video installation art on a festival in Night Springs. Mr. Scratch seemingly has escaped and is threatening her, and Alan tries to stop Mr. Scratch. We are
Okay,
also
okay,
putting
okay.
Elements of, well, the dark
So I was
place
about to
is
write some
really
fan
messed up
fiction.
because it's kind of a dream logic reality. There is this kind of a looping that he keeps on going through. In the end, he succeeds in defeating Mr. Scratch. It's left open for interpretation. We see Alice's art, which is this video of their earlier holiday when they were happy,
Alan.
and they are reunited in the form of that projection of that
Ugh.
film. And it was kind
You
of
said I
left
might be
like,
in that
is
dark
this a
place,
happy
but what I'm
ending?
with you.
He's still stuck in there.
I'm in the
One
light.
example of a story he tries to write to escape, but it's a failed attempt. It's an example of failed attempt, and there's been many through the years.
Are these actual events, or merely a dream? A memory, or a glimpse of what is to come?
Now we come to Control finally, and Control reveal. We have Federal Bureau of Control, which is this secret government agency dealing with weird phenomena in the world.
Wait a minute. Wait, huh? Wait a minute. Are they part of the same? Are they part of the same universe, chat? Huh? Is Control part of the? What the? Wait. Wait, what? Oh, I've got to play in complete Control now. I couldn't. Oh God. Check this, right? I couldn't finish the game. I couldn't bring myself to finish the game. I just didn't enjoy Control. I just didn't enjoy it. I felt I was out of place, didn't know what the fuck was going on, and the game wasn't that fun to play. I just didn't enjoy it. I know it sounds crazy, but I just didn't enjoy the game. So boom, if it's part of Alan Wake, I gotta stick for it and beat the game now. Fuck. Man, I got halfway through Control too. Damn. I can't believe that. Anyways, moving on.
Paranatural occurrences, altered world events. And we discovered that they actually came to Bright Falls to investigate after the events of original game. And so they know about it. Then in the downloadable episode called AWE, we have Alan Wake in a bigger role. Once again, the idea being that he is seeing glimpses of the real world, including FPC.
Chat. I didn't even know that Alan Wake and Control was in the same universe. They even got Mr. Wake in the game, bro. Look at him, a shadow in the background, bro. That's
so
crazy.
He's bringing that into the story he's writing, kind of nudging and
we
pulling,
need to play Control.
trying to have change
Damn.
reality so that FPC, in this case Jesse, the new director, would help him.
Jesse Faden could hear it. A call.
Oh shit, is Jesse Faden gonna be in number 2? Too many
We
questions
also
now.
kind of pick up with certain strands that kind of have happened in between. Alice starting to see nightmarish glimpses of Alan as a monster at their home. We obviously understand that, well, that sounds like Mr. Scratch. And she comes in to FBC to talk about this. And meanwhile, we discover that Dr. Hartman, having lost everything, but being obsessed about the lake and the dark place and fiction art used to change reality, goes into the lake and comes out as a taken. So he's turned into a monster. FBC has captured him, brought him to their headquarters to
Look at his
examine
small head,
when
bro.
Alice comes into,
That man is all
these
legs, no
interviews
neck,
about
no
what's
back, no
happening.
nothing.
Somehow Hartman senses that and goes berserk, and then when the hiss comes in, it goes into Hartman, and he already has the force of darkness in him, and this kind
My
of
phone's
like
going crazy. Hold on, I'm
hybrid
gonna mute my phone.
merges
Yeah,
into
my bad.
something really, really monstrous, which is what Jesse will be facing or faced in AWE DLC. We also find some hints that, well, there is an Alex Casey, an FBI agent called Alex Casey, who is looking for Alan Wake and his disappearance and reaching out to FBC. They're wondering about...
Oh, is that you, bro? Did you mocap yourself into the game?
Alan Wake and his disappearance and reaching out...
You trying to tell me this is not him?
Out to FBC. They're wondering about it. Unfortunately, because there are casualties with Hartman and the whole sector is closed down, a lot of these strands on FBC side are left hanging. We don't know what happens to Alice. Clearly, FBC didn't follow up on that, so, and it's been years ago, like, we don't know. So these elements are still question marks. How this whole thing ends is that we see on monitors an alert of a new altered world events taking place at Cauldron Lake. They have their monitoring station set up there, and now there is an alarm. There is confusion. There shouldn't be any alarm because this place is closed off, but somehow it's coming from the future.
It might be a glitch. The date's all wrong, a couple of years.
Chat, I'm pissed. How is it that my friends have played this game Control, bro? They know I love Alan Wake. And they didn't say to me, hey, Powell guy, just so you know, bro, Alan Wake and Control are in the same universe, bro. My friends didn't tell me that. Huh?
Years in the future.
Now we are in that future. And like, you will see how that alarm comes to be.
Oh my God, that's fire.
The story from there. Definitely what has been going on with Alice and many other things.
Agent Estevez is the field agent in charge of monitoring the site, so she should be there to let us know if the situation has been through.
And then she's gonna be right there. Dude, that's crazy.
I'm sorry.
For more on that.
Holy shit. Hey, yo, my brother, don't apologize, man. Don't apologize. You absolutely killed it. Oh, let me give you a round of applause, bro.